Yeah. So I'm just gonna be fucking around right now. I have never done a live stream by myself, so I was thinking of maybe doing this political test or the political compass test because I've had a bunch of people ask me where my political leanings are or whatever. I know this thing isn't like 100% accurate, but if you're wondering, is Godless Cranium a fascist or a communist? Then maybe this test will let you know. So I'm going to pull up a screen so I can see the live chat as well, if there is one that you're watching. All right, so if economic globalization is inevitable, it should primarily serve humanity rather than the interests of transnational corporations. Well, transnational corporations are made up of people, so they would be part of humanity. But um, yeah, I would definitely agree with that if you take out that little bit. So let's see if I can get my channel. Sorry, guys, I'm just trying to pull it up on my phone so I can see the live chat without hearing myself talk on my own computer. I'm just seeing if I can get this work here. I know I'm a noob at doing this. And there we go. There we go. Okay, so I got it on my phone so I can see if you guys are talking. There we go. Hey, Micah. Thanks for joining me, man. All right, so would I strongly agree or... Okay, we're ready to rock. All right, so would I strongly agree or agree? I would probably strongly agree with that because I'd rather things serve humanity than serve transnational corporations, even though transnational corporations are made up of humans. But still, I'm gonna go with strongly agree. All right, I'd always support my country, whether it was right or wrong. That's pretty easy. I disagree with that. I would support my country if I thought it was right, but I would see no reason to support it if I thought it was wrong. I think that's kind of dumb. All right, no one chooses his or her country of birth, so it's foolish to be proud of it. Yeah, I kind of agree with that. I mean, I don't think it's foolish to be proud of your country, but to be proud of it just because you're part of that country, which you really had no choice in, is, you know, I don't know. I'm proud of Canada, but like, I really had nothing to do with, or I have very little to do. I can't say nothing, but I have very little to do with what makes Canada Canada. I mean, I have a very small part of the fabric of Canada, so I'm proud of it, but at the same time, I understand that just to be proud of it for being proud of it is kind of foolish. I don't know. Yeah, I agree with that. All right. Our race has many superior qualities compared with other races. Strongly disagree. I wonder how many people were like, yeah, I think so. Hey, Argathian Dragon. Thanks for joining me. The enemy of my enemy is my friend. Yes. No, I disagree because I've never really understood this saying because your enemy is still your enemy. Whether, well, no, I guess the enemy of my enemy is my friend. I guess the enemy of my enemy. I wouldn't say that they're your friend. I mean, they might be the enemy of your enemy, but that doesn't mean that they're necessarily your friend. They could be your enemy as well, just maybe not on that one topic. So, hey, Redacted, and everyone loves their own countries, whether you think it's better than all the others. Yeah, I don't know if I think, like, just in my own case with Canada, whether I think it's my country is better than all others. I don't. I think it might be better in areas, but I don't think my country overall is better than other countries, or that we can't learn anything from other countries. Sorry, you're getting bad weather. All right, let's see. The enemy of my enemy is my friend. Yeah, I'm going to go with, I kind of disagree with that. Military action that defies international law is sometimes justified. Ugh, I don't know. I'm not a big military guy. So, I mean, I guess there could be instances where it is justified, but at the same time, I'd rather countries not just go shooting rockets at people or whatever. Maybe I'm showing my Canadianness there, but I'd rather it be peaceful than. I hope you guys can hear me okay too. Let's see. Military action that defies international law is sometimes justified. I wish there was like an area between disagree and agree, that there was like some kind of like neutral, like I don't know or something. Hey, Link Ninja, Canada for the win for sure. All right, let's see. I'm going to go with. I guess it could be sometimes justified. I mean, well, I can't think of any instances where it's happened where I think a country defied international law and was just like, no, you know what? I'm going to have to disagree because I can't think of one instance. I mean, it could be justified, but at the same time, I've never seen it happen. So, hey, Baba. Yeah, it's a hard one. Yeah, I'm gonna go with disagree. I mean, I don't know why I'm agonizing over this. Okay, there's now worrying fusion of information and entertainment. No, I would disagree. I mean, I don't know. I think that people should be able to choose what they want to watch, whether it's entertainment or information. And if they're fused together, then you get both. I don't see a problem with that. Where it's just, yeah, exactly, Prophet Azad, exactly. Like I'm sure there's areas that it could be justified, but I've never actually run across or seen something where it was justified, or I think that it was justified anyways. So that's why I disagree with it. It's a hard one. So I mean, I wish there was some kind of area in between disagree and agree, but yeah, it's live, Grumpy Santa. It's just me fucking around. I have the day off, so I was like, well, I might as well try doing a live stream. I was working on a video about religion and what I think could replace religion in the future, but I decided to do this because reasons. I can't really start over. Yeah, that's true. Next radio. Here you go, Grumpy Santa. So this was my answers so far. I'm only on page 1, so you didn't miss much. All right, so there's it. Yeah, so I'm gonna disagree with this one as well. All right, so next page. People are ultimately divided more by class than by nationality. Ugh, fuck. Yeah, I would think so. Yeah, I would agree with that because nationality. I mean, that's a sneaky question. Yeah, there you go, redacted, Nick. That's so sneaky. Yeah, if you're talking about this question, yeah, because nationality is like the nation that you're in. So if I'm in Canada, why would I be divided by nationality? Because I'm in a country of probably 99.999% Canadians, but we're all different classes. but people overall are divided by more by, yeah, and I would still say that they're more divided by class than by nationality because I don't really have I don't have friction or anything like that with other nationalities very often. I mean, governments might. Yeah, and that's also true, Grumpy Santa. It does depend on how they define class, but I'm gonna go with class as being like different socioeconomic classes. Uh, so yeah, I'm gonna have to agree with that. I'm gonna agree with the people are more divided by class than by nationality. I wouldn't strongly agree because it's not the case in every case. All right, so controlling inflation is more important than controlling unemployment. Fuck. See, I'm no I'm no economist, so I don't know. I Unemployment bothers me more than inflation because I'd rather people be employed. But uh, yeah, Nick's radio. A Canadian American aren't too divided by nation, but a Canadian and North Korean are. Maybe, but I don't know any North Koreans, so it doesn't. I'm not divided by them so much. And if I met a North Korean, like I don't know, somehow in some magical universe, I could meet a North Korean. I'm sure that if we could communicate, because I'd be speaking English. Um, I don't know if we'd be too separated. Like I don't know. Um, I don't know if you know what I mean. What I mean there. You know it. Oh, go ahead and shut out, man. Believe me, I can make up my own mind. Um, and sometimes when people say stuff that's brings up a good point. Um, yeah, so I'm gonna have to disagree with this one. Again, I'm not an economist, so I don't know which one is more important overall. But to me, it's more important to have people employed than to control inflation. Although I can see why both would be important. Okay, so yeah, exactly. Redacted. That's part of what I think as well. Or the word control in the question. Yeah, yeah, that's true. Nick's radio. Okay, because corporations cannot be trusted to voluntarily protect the environment, they require regulation. Yeah, I kind of agree with that. They they do require regulation. It's just there's a line between regulation and overregulation, and I think governments sometimes go over that line. But I would agree that they need some regulation. And obviously, I don't think corporations can be trusted very often, not to serve their own interests. I mean, that's the nature of a corporation. It's to make money. So yeah, that's very true, Zod. It would affect people with fixed incomes. But I guess it's asking which is more important. And I would say unemployment. That's why I agree. I disagree with that statement. From each according to his ability to each according to his need is a fundamentally good idea. Fuck, I've never sat down and thought about. I've heard that saying before, but I've never really like. It's just kind of like something somebody says, and I never really give it much thought. Necessary corporations can't be trusted. That's. I don't think any corporation can be trusted, but King Crocoduck. I've never heard of him. I'll have to go check it out. All right. So from each according to his ability to each according to his need. I don't know. It sounds good. I mean, if you have an ability and I don't know it's taken out of context from anything though. Like it's just like a saying, it's almost like a platitude, right? Like it's just a saying with no surrounding context. So I'm not even sure why they have that in there, but Without any context, I'm going to go with I agree, I guess. It's a sad reflection on our society that something as basic as drinking water is now a bottled, branded consumer product. Yeah. Yeah, I kind of agree with that. I mean, we just, yeah, we bottle water and then we sell it for, I don't know, here it's like $1 something to get a bottle of water, which I buy. So maybe I'm a hypocrite. um, take from those who have and give to those who have not. That's what you think that saying means? Oh, and yeah, and I wouldn't agree with that either. So, I mean, if that's what it means, then no. Um, oh no, hella dope script. Why would you agree? Yeah. Uh, why would you agree? Hella dope. Well, when are you talking about hella dope stick? Are you talking to me? All right. So yeah, I kind of I don't know, but then again, if you are bottling the water and you're making sure that it's clean and you're selling the bottle, I mean, it takes people to put it in the bottle and all that kind of stuff, or machines anyways, so which you would have to pay for as a corporation. So at the same time, I can see why you have to pay for the bottled water, but it is kind of a sad reflection that we bottle water and sell a basic need to people. But I mean, you're not obligated to buy the bottle of water. I mean, I could just go to my tap and, as long as I don't live in one of those places that don't seem to be able to uphold basic sanitation laws. um, I could just drink water from the tap. Oh, yes, you. Okay, so then that's true. The water thing, it does allow waters. Yeah, and they do sell. Okay, so what do you mean, hella dope stick? What answer are you disagreeing with me on? I don't know the law in Canada, but in the US, bottled water only has to be as good quality as tap water in there. Yeah, that's true. Next radio. I think they changed that actually because they found a company up here in Canada that was literally just taking water from the tap and putting it in bottles and then selling it, which is that is completely crazy. I think they actually changed the law so it has to be spring water now or something. So we sell most of our bottled water supply to the troops. Yeah, I'm not saying that there's no need for it. I'm saying, but it's not really asking that. It's asking if it's a sad reflection on our society that something as basic as drinking water is now bottled. It's not saying whether. It's not really asking if there's not instances where we should be doing that. But I mean, I don't think the troops are the only thing that they're taking into consideration there. I don't know. Yeah, you can't take the kitchen sink, but you could take a hiking with you. But you could just fill water bottles, right? I do that. Yeah, exactly, Jonathan. Exactly, Jonathan. Yeah, it was pretty stupid. Um, I don't know if I agree or disagree with this one. I mean, there's just so many points on either side. I'm not really, and I don't really care. Like to be honest, like if people want to buy bottled water, then let them buy bottled water. I mean, I do it. And the funny thing is, I usually buy bottled water and then I put those Kool-Aid things in it. So I could probably do that with just tap water. It would taste the same. But and I didn't. If people want, yeah, if people want to buy it, then that's obviously a need, and they're just filling a niche, right? So I don't. It's a sad reflection, maybe partially. I'm gonna go with disagree, just because I think there's instances where people might need it, and if it's filling a need, then they should be allowed to do it, I guess. Land shouldn't be a commodity to be bought and sold. Fuck. Yeah. Well, I guess. Yeah, I guess I am domesticated. I mean, I don't have to. I'm not living out in a tent somewhere. Land shouldn't be a commodity to be bought and sold. Ah, fuck me. uh, I guess I agree fundamentally with that we shouldn't be able to buy and sell, but we because I'm domesticated, maybe hella dope stick. We kind of have to because it's the only way that we can have property rights and not kill each other over stuff. So we kind of need it, and so then I would agree with it. So I mean, in a perfect world, it would be we just all stake out our little claim or whatever and just kind of live there, but that's not how the real world works. Land should be commodity bound sold. Yeah, I'm gonna disagree. Okay, I'm gonna disagree with that. It is regrettable that many personal fortunes are made by people who simply manipulate money and contribute nothing to their society. Yeah, I agree. Yeah, and that's a good point, Grumpy Santa. Some land should remain public, lots of it, but personal land is also a good thing. Yeah, definitely, for sure. So yeah, it's regrettable that many fortunes are made by people. I don't know what they mean by simply manipulate money. Like, I wish they'd give examples of, like, I'm assuming they're meaning like, stock traders or, people like that. But I mean, you do have to have some knowledge to do that stuff. It's not like I could probably learn how to do it, but I would still have to learn how to do it. I wouldn't just be able to just do it. Oh. It is regrettable though. I mean, if they're not. Yeah, I'm gonna agree, but I'm not gonna strongly agree because I mean, like I said, I think you still have to learn how to do that stuff. I don't know. I'm not. I hate money. Like, money just drives me crazy. Like, I don't like. I just don't like money. I don't know. In Canada, at least there's an annual property tax. Yes, there is. By how much resources are in comparison with the wages. Protectionism is sometimes necessary in trade. See, again, I'm not an I don't even know basic stuff like this. Like, protectionism is sometimes necessary in trade. Oh man. I guess I'm assuming it is because if you're, I don't know, if you're a Canadian trader or an American trader, then your government would have to kind of make sure that you're not getting, fucked by other countries, right? Money is the best. Yeah, I guess I don't think so. I mean, I make money to live, but that's because I have to. It's not. I don't love it, and I don't know. I just 100%. Yeah. I don't know. Some people really get off on making money, and like, I don't know. My dad used to be like that. Like, he loved work and uh loved making money and stuff like that. I mean, he literally, like, he ended up passing away of lung cancer, but uh he literally worked until like the day before he died. So um yeah, he would have probably agreed with you. So protection is sometimes necessary. I would agree with that sometimes. I'm glad that they put the sometimes in there. The only social responsibility of a company should be delivered profit to its shareholders. Well, before. Yeah, money doesn't really have intrinsic value. I mean, if there was like an apocalypse tomorrow and we were, civilization was destroyed, and you tried to trade uh, a dollar bill for food, you probably wouldn't get very far. But we give it value. The only social responsibility of companies should be to deliver profit to shareholders. No. I think we all share kind of a social responsibility, including companies, which are made up of people. So yeah, I would have to, you know what, I kind of strongly disagree with that because, yeah, like because then that would mean that they don't have any responsibility other than to make money. I mean, that's their, in the real world, a company's main responsibility is to deliver a profit or to make a profit, but it's not its only responsibility. So yeah, I strongly disagree with that actually. Let's see what you guys are saying. Fuck the shareholders. Fuck the shareholders. Uh, I disagree with that question so effing much. In economics, protection is the economic policy of retaining trade between countries through methods. Yeah, exactly. So you would have to have some protectionism um, in an economic policy when it's warranted, right? Or so that if you're in one country, you don't want to be getting fucked over by another country. Intrinsic means in nature, which is synonymous with culture. So yes, it's intrinsic. um, okay, so the rich are too highly taxed. No, but I don't think so. I mean, everybody in Canada is too highly taxed, I think. I mean, we get taxed. I knew somebody that came here. I forget where they came from. I think it might have been the UK. And he was a doctor, and he came here to practice medicine. He opened up his own practice, and a year later he was going back, and he said it was because he couldn't handle the taxes. It was killing him. So so he went right back. So Canada, I think Canada is one of the most highly taxed countries. I mean, if you're born here, you might not notice it too much because you just kind of get used to it, but you don't know any different. But if you come from another country and you come here, then you realize that, fuck. Which are too highly taxed. No, I would disagree. I disagree with this one. Let's see. The rich have more people employed, which means they have used more publicly taxed resources. Oh no. Every time the US has had big tax cuts for rich economies suffered for it. Yeah. Yeah. Okay, so those with the ability to pay should have access to higher standards of medical care. No. See, no, I I don't think so. I actually strongly disagree with that. I think everybody should have, and maybe this is again me and my Canadianness. I think everybody should have, or my socialist leanings, maybe. But I think everybody should have access to medical care. Yeah, and I agree with that, Zmorph. As far like money, you can't eat money. It doesn't do anything. I mean, I guess you could burn it and make a fire, but it wouldn't last very long. So, like I said, if society was no longer here and we were just kind of like scavenging for food and stuff, a dollar bill isn't going to do much. You're going to go with the food. Those are the things that have intrinsic value. Yeah, medical care should be a basic human right. Socialism is the socialism is the future. F Republican. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, exactly. Prophet Azad. I. That's why I strongly disagree with that. Government should penalize businesses that mislead the public. Yeah, I actually strongly agree with that one as well. I think they should be penalized for that. That one's not even hard to answer. A genuine free market requires restrictions on the ability of predator multinationals to create monopolies. Genuine. Another fucking economic question. A genuine. Yeah. That's hard because like a free market would like if you had a genuine free market, then there would be no restrictions, or that wouldn't be a free market, right? Like that's what I mean. Like I'm way out of my depth on these kind of economic questions because I don't give a shit about money or about this kind of stuff besides maybe tax levels and stuff like that because it affects me. But like I think that there should be restrictions on a market to so that they can't create monopolies. Free markets don't exist; they're created. Yeah, but but do you see like the question doesn't actually make sense because a genuine free market would be one without restrictions, right? Or it wouldn't be free. It requires restrictions, but so it's asking if a genuine free market requires restrictions, and it doesn't. Like, do I wish that? Like, do I hope that a market has restrictions that restrict the ability of predator multinationals to create monopolies? Yes, I do. Um, so that's how I'm going to take that question. Is that like, do I want there to be restrictions? Yes, I would agree with that. That they have to have restrictions. The freer the market, the freer the people. Oh, fuck me. Another one. Fuck. I wish they'd just get off with this market shit because I don't. Yeah, maybe I don't know. I've had lots of people ask me about like this Discord thing, but I don't know. If it was totally free market, then you couldn't restrict the sale of, say, heroin. Yeah, exactly. If it was a genuine free, that's what I mean. The question doesn't make sense because if it's a genuine free market, then you wouldn't have any restrictions. It wouldn't be a genuine free market then. If you put restrictions on, as soon as you put restrictions on, it's not a free market. Um, the freer the market, the freer the people. No, because if you have a free market, then those predator multinationals from the question above that is just are going to restrict people. Like they're going to create monopolies that make it so you have to buy from. Like I remember here in Canada, there's Bell Canada. For the longest time, they were the only telephone company or whatever, and they could just charge whatever they wanted to, and people would have to buy it. Otherwise, there was no other option, right? So once the government said, well, other companies can now compete, you realized how bad their service was because they didn't have to um, have a real big good service team because you were fucked, right? Like you didn't want it, then you didn't have cable. So uh, the rich don't think that healthcare is right for all people. They think they should have a right to rule over all people and make decisions for all. Well, some rich people, yeah. Uh, yeah, I'm an economic layman, no idea how to spell that, so I reserve my judgment until I get more educated on the subject. Yeah, exactly. Uh, so no, I would disagree with this. The freer the market, the freer the people. Next page. Abortion, fuck. Abortion, when the woman's life is not threatened, should always be illegal. No, I disagree. Um, abortion's always been a kind of weird limbo area for me. My girlfriend says that we discussed it one time, and she said that, oh, what did she say? She said, "I'm I'm for the right of abortion, but I'm against abortion." Like, like I don't think it's if I was a woman, I wouldn't unless they're under extenuating circumstances, like say if I was raped or something, um, or my life was threatened, I wouldn't choose to get an abortion. But I think people should have the right to get an abortion. Um, fuck. I'm a guy. I refuse to exert that control over a woman's body. I don't know her situation. I can't force any decision for or against her. Hmm. Yeah. Yeah, and I don't think it should be illegal. Yeah, so I disagree with that one. All authority should be questioned. Yeah, I strongly agree with that. Yeah, that's kind of what I do on my channel. On one, it's kind of turning into one specific area, but definitely think that I think anything should be questioned, not just authority. An eye for an eye and a tooth for a tooth. No, I disagree with that one as well. Fucking biblical nonsense is what that is. Um, I just don't say strongly disagree because there's probably instances where I would agree that if somebody did something to somebody, then they should have to pay the same. I don't know, like if somebody stole $20 from me, then the person should have to repay the $20. So it's kind of like an eye and an eye, tooth for a tooth. Let's see what you guys are saying. Let's see the problem people have with it. Do whatever she, being a man, husband, father, I should even. Yeah, I think Rylan. I think that being a man or a husband, or especially a husband or a father, um, they should still have a say, right? I mean, they should be able to have their thoughts heard and taken into consideration. So I kind of disagree with you there. Give everyone access to, yeah, exactly. The truth has nothing to fear. Anxiety, eye for an eye, all blind. Eye for an eye, leave all blind. Exactly, yeah. But like I said, I think there's some instances where you could say that's an eye for an eye kind of thing. Like if you stole money, then you would have to repay that money. He still has one. The last person still has one eye. All right. Taxpayers should not be expected to prop up any theaters or museums that cannot survive on a commercial basis. Fuck me. This is a hard one too. Because oh, I, I think all of, I kind of agree with this because I think theaters and museums are important, but I also don't think taxpayers should be paying for them, and I know they do, but I don't think they should have to. If you're a theater or a museum, then you should just be charging people to come see your stuff, and if it's not important to people, then you're going to go to business. So I'm going to agree with this one. I'm going to agree with this one. Let's see. Schools should not make a classroom attendance compulsory. Well, what school level? um, because if you're in college or university and you want to miss a class, and you can. I mean, it's just going to hurt yourself, and I'm fine with that. Museums for sure. Education is the new moral. Yeah, but I think they should have to find their own way of making money. I mean, they could find donors or charge people at the door or whatever. And if there's enough people willing to, that it's important to them, then museums and the like offer people. Yeah, I agree. I think that's what I mean. I think museums and theaters are important, but I don't think taxpayers should be paying for them. Okay, schools should not make classroom attendance compulsory. I kind of agree because, again, it depends more. The school level kind of makes a difference, but at the same time, like if I have a child, I should be making sure that they go to school. I'm not sure why that's a school's responsibility. Schools should not make classroom attendance compulsory. I could kind of see it more for small children than schools should make classroom attendance compulsory. Fuck me, I don't know. Schools should not make classroom attendance a compulsory. Yeah, I agree. I agree. Reluctantly. uh, More reluctantly because I've seen a lot of really bad parents. Let's see. Imagine reading your guys' comments. I just don't think Congress only men should make women's health decisions. Well, George, like if it was if you reversed it and say there was all women in Congress, I don't think that they could make that they would necessarily make bad decisions just because they were women on men's health choices. I think they're capable of making good choices still. Can I get a link to the test? Yeah, if you go into Google and just type in the political compass, it's the first one. It just pops right up there. Being compulsory is good for the country because people get more educated in theory. Yeah, that's why I reluctantly agreed with that question. I'd rather people be educated, and I know that there's some shitty parents that would just not send their kids to school, but difference between men and women. I mean, as long as they're being rational, it shouldn't matter. Exactly. Exactly. I mean, men can make decisions about things that are, intrinsically female, and same the other way around. I'm a lib lefty. All people have their rights, but it is better for all of us that different sorts of people should keep to their own. What the fuck does that mean? All people have their rights, but it's better for all of us that different sorts of people should keep to their own. Fuck that. Strongly, no, fuck that. Strongly disagree. What is different sorts of people? What does that even fucking mean? Like different races, different, ethnicities? What? That, oh my fuck. Jesus. All right. Good parents sometimes have to spank their children. I disagree. I think. Not into. I grew up being spanked, so a part of me kind of leans towards, like, because I don't want to think of my parents as being, bad, quote unquote bad parents, and I don't think they were bad parents. I think all parents make mistakes, and they kind of, kids don't come with an instruction manual, so I think they did their best, and I got spanked I got spanked a lot, probably, way more than my sister. You might hear my dog bark in the background. Hold on one second. Dex. Hey, Dexter. It's okay. It's okay. Come here. He thinks he's tough. He's a lab, but okay. So good parents sometimes have to spank their children. I disagree. Uh, Racial political segregation, worst idea ever. Yes, yes, it's bad, and I do not like identity politics. Uh, Never had to resort to spanking. Yeah, exactly. I dated somebody, and they were fantastic parents. Their kids were great, and they never once laid a hand on them. Pain is a good way to convince someone. Yeah, and that violence is a good resort to, you know, you can resort to violence when you are disagreed with. I'd be in prison if it weren't for spanking. Yeah, I don't know. I wish, I wish that we could go back in a time machine and check out what I would be like if I'd never been spanked. Because when I was when I was much younger, I had quite a temper, and I'm not saying that that was because of spanking, but it could have partially have been because of being spanked and stuff. Um, wow, conversation where spanking came up that isn't immediately setting me off because of idiots. Like going out. Yeah. Um, yeah, kids have more capacity to be reasoned with than people give them credit for. Yeah, I agree with that, but at the same time, a lot of I mean, kids are, egocentric, right? They don't see much outside of themselves. They think that they're kind of like the center of the universe, which is fine. And it's parents' job to teach them otherwise. I think it's so often people think it was spanking that worked. Evidence is against that being the case, but people will believe it. Yeah, I've seen. I actually did an article on, a long time ago, um, on religious states that had, and most of them had spanking laws, which um, and the stats showed that like the spanking just it doesn't work, right? I mean, it doesn't mean that it doesn't work for anybody, but it overall in general it didn't work. So yeah, anyway, so I disagree with that one. It's natural for children to keep some secrets from their parents. Yeah, definitely. Of course, it's natural for people to keep secrets, not just children from their. Yeah, I guess I would strongly agree with that one, right? I mean, it is natural. People don't have to tell everybody everything. Let's see what else you guys are saying. Kids live in the here and now. Yeah, exactly. They live in the here and now. Spanking is last resort to me when all methods of correction have failed. My parents didn't hit me or my siblings. None of us have ever been in prison. Yeah, Raheel, kids seem to be less egocentric than adults. Adults have a lot. Yeah, no, I don't think. I mean, of course, there's some adults that behave as children, but um, children don't really pay much attention to anything besides what affects them, right? um, oh no, increases violence correlates with lower intelligence. Oh man, maybe that's what happened to me then. With lower intelligence was all that spanking. uh, okay, so the prime function of schooling should be to equip the future generation to find jobs. Mm. Oh no, that's not. I've skipped one. Possessing a marijuana for personal use should not be a criminal offense. Yes, I strongly agree with that. Actually, yeah, I strongly agree. I don't do marijuana, but I don't know why we throw people in jail for it. I mean, this again, the statistics just don't bear that it's a good idea, right? Like we incarcerate so many people, it just creates a spiral of pain, right? Because now they have a criminal record, they can't get a job, and it's just, oh my god, it's horrible. So no. Alexander Schuster, is this guy some sort of communist? Are you talking about me? I mean, according to some Americans I've talked to, Canada is like a communist nation. But no, I'm not a communist. At least I don't think I am. I guess we're going to find out at the end of this test, right? The prime function of schooling should be able to equip the future generations to find jobs. Yeah, I guess the prime function. I mean, it's not the only function, but it's probably the prime function. Oh, okay. It was sarcasm. Okay, cool. I thought you were actually, like I said, I've talked to Americans that are like, well, Canada isn't that like a communist nation? So, um, I mean, it's not that far out. Yeah, not just to find jobs, kids should be taught to critically think and reason. Yeah, and really school isn't. But right now, school doesn't really teach that very often. There's like a right answer and a wrong answer. They don't um, teach how to think about things and stuff like that, um, or how to question. So, and it's not really asking what all the functions are. It's asking what the prime function. So the main function of school um, is to find jobs or equip the future generation to find jobs. And I think that is the prime function of schooling, right? Because you all the way up through school, you're gearing up towards something, right? Like if you're, once you get to high school and you're nearing the end of high school, you still have to start thinking about what field you want to go into, and that's all to find a job, right? Uh, see you later, Rylan. Spanking leads to Trump votes. That's fucking hilarious. uh, okay, so I'm gonna go with the prime function of schooling should be equipped to. Yes, I agree. I agree, but I don't strongly agree because shouldn't be the only. People with serious inheritable disabilities should not be allowed to fuck off with that. Oh my god. Fuck me. People with serious inheritable disabilities should not be allowed to breathe. Strongly disagree. Strongly disagree with that. Uh, I think spanking could become necessary when the child becomes an immediate aggressive risk to others or themselves, but for not much else. Yeah, maybe, but how did they get to that point, right? Like, how did they get to the point where aggression was the answer, right? What could that have partially been because they were getting spanked? Peace out. um, the most important thing for children to learn is to accept discipline. No, I disagree. I mean, there's other things that are more important. There are no savage and civilized peoples. There are only different cultures. There are only different cultures. Yeah, there is just really only different. I mean, we're all just people. I don't think there's like some people are just savage and how many people really calm down while being hit? You're going to end up very libertarian leftist. You think so? Yeah, maybe. How many people really? I love that question. How many people are really calm down while being hit? Like zero. Different cultures. So it's back to this test, right? So there are only different cultures. Yeah, I agree. There's There's cultures. Those who are able to work and refuse the opportunity should not expect society's support. Yeah, actually, if you're able to work and you refuse, then I'm not sure why you should expect other people to support you. So yeah, I kind of agree with that. Let's see what you guys are saying. Bottom left for sure. This is a tough one. No, means why not to be moral. Yeah, exactly, Grumpy Santa, about the individuals. The, this fucking incredible amount of blatant asshole in a question. Yeah, it is, isn't it? That is that question's just fucked up, for sure. Are there good brains to be able to... Um, unless it's a group of savages. Yeah, but if it's a group of savages, it's usually because of the culture or something they've been taught as a group, right? My very bottom, I wouldn't think super left so far, but meh. All right, well, we're gonna find out. When you are troubled, it's better not to think about it, but to keep busy with more cheerful things. Mm. I hate questions like this because again, it depends on the context, right? Like, um, sometimes I do that when I'm, if something's bothering me, and if I can't do anything about it, then there's no point in worrying about it, and I've kind of learned that over time. But at the same time, if I can do something about it, then I should definitely be thinking about what to do, right? And just thinking about cheerful things is just wishful thinking, right? Like it's so you kind of have to do this sometimes, and you don't have to do it other times. So it's just I have a harpoon in my chest. I better think cheerful thoughts. Yeah, exactly. uh, yeah, I'm gonna disagree just because I think you should be thinking about it unless unless you can't do anything about it. It's just a kind of a weird question. First generation immigrants can never be fully integrated within their new country. I disagree. I mean, why couldn't they be fully integrated with their new country? I mean, if somebody embraces the country and the culture that they're going to, then like, why couldn't they be fully integrated? Most of the religious questions aren't very good. That'll be, I'm sure that'll be fun to go through. Centered left. Yeah, I disagree with this one. What's good for the most successful corporations is always ultimately good for... Fuck that. Yeah, I strongly disagree, actually. Not, I don't only disagree, I strongly disagree with that. What's... It's always... Anytime there's like an always in something, it's usually wrong. Like, no broadcasting institution, however independent in its context, should receive public funding. Mm, that's a hard one. Let's see what you guys are saying. For sure. It's true. Yeah. Okay, so no broadcasting institution, however independent. See, I don't agree. Like in Canada, we have the CBC, and they're almost completely government funded, and I don't agree with that. I think, and then they have to, then they have to compete with. They don't even have to compete, but they're in there with, countries that are not publicly funded, and then those companies have to compete with one that's, if you're going to give money to broadcasting institutions, then you should do it all the way across the board, not just one. But at the same time, there's other... I mean, if you're not talking about news and you're just talking about, um, TV channels in general and say there's like one that's doing like, documentaries or something like that. I don't see a problem with that. Or it's independent content should receive public funding. That's a hard one. It's very hard. I guess in this sense, like kind of like the museums and the theaters, I guess I'm a capitalist in this sense that I don't think institutions or whatever should necessarily be funded by taxpayers. I think they should have to make it on their own. So I'm gonna agree, but I wouldn't strongly like if somebody could make a case to me that they should be that I'm wrong, then I could definitely be wrong about this. All right, so let's see what you guys say. I'm mostly thinking of Canada, U.S. Yeah, that's true, Agathian Dragon, about yeah, like somebody from the U.S. or from Canada going to one or the other would have an easy time of. I mean, we watch your TV shows, right? So depends how much money is allowed to be distributed. Fox MS are essentially propaganda arms of the parties. Yeah. BBC. Yeah, the BBC is pretty bad a lot of the time. Okay, so next page. Our civil liberties are being excessively curbed in the name of counterterrorism. Yes, I agree with that. I agree. I guess excessively is the main word there, right? Like if you think it's excessively curbed. A significant advantage of a one-party state is that it avoids all arguments that delay progress and Jesus Christ. No, you have to have a multi-party state. I strongly disagree. I'm pretty sure that, but they do not report on Russia. Probably more so here in the States. One party is the future. Fuck one party. Yeah, about significant advantage, because it's asking if it's a significant advantage. I wouldn't think of that as an advantage though, because I want my government to be able to debate and find the right answers, or as close as they can in our shitty systems. But I think our shitty system is still better than a one-party state. All right, so although the electronic age make official surveillance easier, only wrongdoers need to be worried. No, 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 that's definitely not true. I strongly disagree with that. We should all be worried about police state surveillance or surveillance and how it's being used. The death penalty should be an option for the most serious crimes. Strongly disagree again. I'm really against the death penalty, I guess. Oh, it's only way to decrease the tribalism of it's all. Huh. 5 major parties. Maybe. I don't know. We have 3 and I'm not too bad about that. But there's kind of like the left, the right, and the middle. Actually, there's the left, the far left. But I guess the liberals are kind of centrist as well. So I don't know. We could probably have another one in there. I think 4 would be great. Death penalty needs to be death penalty. Hunger Games death penalty. In a civilized society, one must always have people above to be obeyed and people below to be commanded. I think that's just the way of people. I think people kind of put ourselves in a pecking order, and our civilizations kind of, well, they don't kind of, they do mirror what we do. So battle royale, death penalty. 4 or 5 parties would be nice. Yeah, I think 4 is good. Is a pretty good number. 3 isn't too bad, but 2, as you can see in the States, is just brutal. I mean, uh, that the system in the States, I think, is really just broken. Although it makes for entertaining watching. See, the problem I have with this is being obeyed. Like, I don't think people at all should have to obey other people necessarily. I think they should be able to question them and hold them to account for things they've done. Like if if there's people in power, like I don't know, like here's Justin Trudeau. He shouldn't. He would be at the top right now, but that doesn't necessarily mean he should be obeyed if he's doing things I don't agree with necessarily. I mean, there's some things he obviously does things I don't agree with, but I mean, this is another one. I wish there was a middle because it would depend on the context. Yeah, I think the system in the U.S. is definitely broken, Lady Unicorn, for sure. I don't even know how you fix it. Like it's just, I mean, I've heard like get money out of politics, limit donor, how much you can donate to a party, that kind of thing. But that last election it was just brutal. I mean, and it's still just continuing on. So this question, this one is just so frustrating because I don't like the word obey. I do think that we structure ourselves so that there's people above and people below, but I don't think that they should necessarily be obeyed. And the must always, again, always is, I hate when people, there's, whenever you see the word always or whatever, it's just generally not a good idea. I kind of agree and I kind of disagree. I don't know which way to go on this one. Oh, fuck, I hate agonizing over this shit. I should just think cheerful thoughts instead of agonizing. Yeah, I'm going to disagree because I don't think it's the only way that you could structure society. Hey, Professor Stick. Abstract art that doesn't represent anything shouldn't be considered art at all. No, I disagree. I mean, art's the eye of the beholder, right? Like, if you think it's art, then it's art. I don't really like abstract art, so it makes me want to agree with it, but I know that abstract art is art. In criminal justice, punishment should be more important than rehabilitation. No, I disagree. I think they're both important, but I think rehabilitation is more important than punishment. I don't know. Maybe that makes me some kind of socialist asshole, but I gotta go sandwiches over social issues. All right, see you later, Nick. Thanks for stopping by, man. Yeah, it is a poison question with the word obey. Exactly. When you get down to it, that's what it is. Yeah, they would just call it abstract. Exactly. It's a waste of time to rehabilitate some criminals. Mm. Oh, that's a hard one. It's a waste of time to try to rehabilitate some criminals. I think there's some criminals that just you they're too broken. They can't be rehabilitated, but I don't think it's a waste of time to try because you can't know if they're able to be rehabilitated until you try. So, um, I'm gonna disagree with that because I think you should try. Right. The business person and manufacturer are more important than the writer and the artist. No, I think they're equal. I get I think literature obviously and art are important. They're important aspects of culture. If everything was just, about manufacturing something and business, then yeah, I'm gonna have to disagree. All right, let's see. Mothers may have careers, but their first duty uh, is to be home. No, no, it's not. It's no. Yeah, I. Mothers may have careers, but their first duty is to be home. No, strongly disagree actually, because it's yeah, because you could be a father and be a homemaker as well. Why is it just the mother's responsibility? The point trying to rehab child molesters or serial violent offenders. For rehab, yeah, I think I think you can always try to rehabilitate somebody. It's not always going to work, obviously, but um, I think you get. I think we can make the try for it. And you have perfect. No, I wouldn't let. Oh, a whole bunch of things that just happened there. No, Alexander Schuster, I wouldn't just let him go. I would still punish him because his actions um, play a part in how other people view that situation. So, if I murder somebody and I get off scot free, then everybody that saw that or heard about it on the news or whatever would be like, oh, look at that guy, he just got off with murder. Maybe I can go murder. So, it plays a role in their how they behave as well. Uh, see, even someone who seems to like the crime is beyond rehab, there may be a reason it can occur. Yeah, exactly. Um, okay. Yeah. Okay. So multinational companies are unethically exploiting the plant genetic resources of developing countries. I don't know enough about it to really. I don't know enough about the subject to actually answer this question. I'm gonna have to answer it because that's part of the test, um, but I don't. I don't follow plant genetic resources, so destroying things like murder most indicated works that way. Sure. Yeah, exactly. I don't Groot slave labor. That's funny. I yeah, I don't know. I don't even know what that's what I mean. I don't know anything about this. Like I don't I we usually do exploit things in developing countries. So if there is a thing called genetic resources, then I'm assuming that we probably unethically exploit them. So I'm going to agree, but again, I don't know anything about about the subject, so I could be completely wrong on that. Making peace with the establishment is an important aspect of maturity. No, I disagree. I don't think you have to make peace with the establishment. I think you can question pretty much anything, or you can question anything, but you have to make peace with something you don't agree with necessarily. Hangouts link to join. All right, so next page, 5 of 6. All right, astrology accurately explains many things. No, no, it doesn't. You cannot be moral without being religious. Yeah, I strongly disagree with that. Anybody who's watched my channel would know that I strongly disagree with that. I fuck, what a stupid question. Okay, charity is better than social security as a means of helping the genuinely disadvantaged. Charity is better than social security. I think, I guess both could be important. I don't know. Social security they're both important. So is charity better than social security? Ah. Yeah, I don't know. I like, I don't know what's better. Is charity better? I mean, if you're helping somebody through social security, I don't see what would make it better than charity. I mean, I think charity is needed. It's good. And social security is like something that everyone anybody that's working is paying into. Um, I don't know if charity is better though. Like, fuck's sake, I don't know about this. This question's so weird. Like, what does it have to do with anything? Like, charity is better than social security. If it's helping people, you need a system that helps people. Then, I guess I would agree. Like, if you could have less social security and more charity, that would be better. If charity was able to make up the difference. I mean, I'd rather it be that way, but okay, I'm just going to agree. But again, I wish there was like a middle ground on some of these questions. It's just frustrating. I suppose it depends on how many people are being exactly like charity, capitalist, social security, not capitalist. It's something like Islamic charity, which is mandated. Security is better in my opinion. Charities can have biases. Yeah, I don't know. It's weird. Okay, moving on. Some people are naturally unlucky. What the? I guess. I mean, it depends on how you define luck. Like, some people think it's like a cosmic karma thing or whatever, like some kind of magic thing. But I think there's like people that are just bad things happen to them sometimes, or more times than good things happen. Um, yeah, they need to either agree or disagree choice. Exactly. Like, I'm gonna agree with this one because there's just, some people that are just naturally unlucky, I guess, but I don't see it as like a magical thing. It depends on how you define luck. And I think we all go through like phases. Like, I've gone through periods in my life where I just feel like unlucky, like bad shit just happens to me, or to people that I care about, which impacts me. So and then life's kind of like a roller coaster, right? Like, sometimes you're on a high spot, sometimes you're on a low spot. It is important that my child's school instill fuck off. No, I strongly disagree with that. No, if they want to have religious beliefs instilled, they should be in church. Um, Next page. Mm. Sex outside marriage is usually immoral. No, I disagree. Actually, I strongly disagree. um, I guess, or I'd be immoral. I'd be as immoral as fuck then. If sex outside marriage is immoral. Um, a same-sex couple in a stable, loving relationship should not be excluded from the possibility of child adoption. I strongly agree. Um, I don't see why. Actually, I'm pretty sure I saw a study not too long ago that showed that same-sex parents did a better job in general than um, heterosexual couples. But I don't know. I might be misremembering that. I don't know. I'll have to look it up after this. Sex outside marriage is usually immoral. Whether or not you think it is immoral does not necessarily not make you more. Sex outside marriage lets you know if the potential partner sucks in bed. Could save your save years of dead fish fucking. Yeah. Makes you more authoritarian. Yeah. Morality is just gross. Um, porn- pornography depicting consenting adults should be legal for the adult population. Yeah, I agree. I strongly agree with that. What goes on in a private bedroom between consenting adults is no business of the state. Yes, I agree with that. Uh, maybe I should strongly agree with that. What goes on in a private bedroom? Yeah, actually, I'm going to change that to strongly agree, I think. Sex is bad, not morally, it's just gross. I don't know, I like it. I guess maybe I'm gross. But each their own, right? Questions are way too broad or too obvious if you get to keep. Strongly agree. It seems like same-sex couple would be more aware of the quality of their parenting because of how some of society views them. Yeah. No one can feel naturally homosexual. Strongly disagree. I'm not sure. This one's like it's just like I'm going authoritarian all over the place. Look at this. um, I don't. I think I don't know for sure because I'm not a homosexual, but I would think that homosexuality is kind of like being a heterosexual. It's not like I make a choice. It's just the way I am. Uh, I find the opposite sex attractive, and for them, they find the same sex attractive. I don't see anything wrong with that. If sex is gross, you're probably doing it right. Yeah. uh, any questionnaire like this that attempts to place you like it does is going to be pretty flawed and not the most useful and accurate. Yeah, that's true. It's kind of fun to do, I guess. These days, openness about sex has gone too far. No, I disagree. I don't think we're all that open about sex, actually. I mean, we treat it like it's not a natural thing or something. Um, yeah, interesting in the music, but not yeah, exactly. All right, so I think that's it. Let's see where we stand. Let's see where we stand. So authoritarian, right, left, or libertarian. Oh yeah. So there I am, pretty libertarian left, kind of more, pretty close, kind of center though, like pretty close. It's closer to center than to the far left. So I don't know, maybe I thought I'd be a little more left, but I guess not. Still left libertarian, I guess. I would I would say that's probably fairly accurate, actually. I don't know. That's how I feel about it anyway. But that's I don't know. These tests aren't super accurate. Yeah, lefty cuck. Yeah, center libertarian, not overly surprised. Yeah, exactly. I would have been more surprised if it had been like authoritarian. I think I have some rightish leaning issues. So yeah, there we go. Thanks for joining me, guys. I'm gonna head out to the gym now before I have to go to my girlfriend's parents' house for Mother's Day later after she gets off work. She doesn't have the day off like I do. So, thanks a lot for joining me. It was a lot of fun.